Hello everyone and welcome to Memory Flow, where we discuss fragrance and fragrance collecting. It has arrived. This is the video where we talk about the latest fragrance release from Francesca Bianchi, which is Libertine Neroli. This is a launch I've been very excited about because first of all I love Neroli, then second of all I love Francesca Bianchi and her work. So needless to say, I looked on the Fragrantica page, or even before that I think she announced the notes of the fragrance, and I saw just oak moss, labdanum, neroli, and leather. This is on Fragrantica, so I may be a bit off, but anyway, I am extremely curious about this fragrance. I'm extremely curious about the meeting point between a neroli and labdanum. I am very curious as to what this could smell like. And also I think it's the first time, I don't think I've ever spoken about Francesca Bianchi in English. However, I think it's time I did that for at least a few videos. Now, let's open this up. Let's see what we have here. So, I bought this. I got this from her official website. And I cannot contain my excitement. Okay, so this is the usual leaflet that she encloses with her fragrances, which are called Liquid Emotions. I don't know, I guess Francesca Bianchi is very popular, but I think she's mostly popular in Europe. I don't know about anywhere else in the world. However, her fragrances I find that are very, very inspired, very complex, very different from anything else I've smelled well lately. Very fresh. As in a breath of fresh air. And also I find that she has many references to other fragrances that I happen to love. For instance, this Angel's Dust is something that I do have my eye on. It's something I will definitely be buying. And I have here on my table, because I just filmed another video, I have Etruscan Water, which is quickly becoming my favorite from her entire line. Other fragrances that I own are the Black Knight, which is just a huge dark fragrance, and Luxe Calme Volupté, which came out last year, last spring, and it's just amazing. It's a beautiful galbanum iris. I can't get enough of it. So this is it. This is how this fragrance comes, with a seal, which I've just unsealed. Let's see how this smells. Libertine Neroli. I'm very curious about the Libertine part. However, Neroli is one of my, and Orange Blossom is one of my favorite notes in perfumery. I just can't get enough of it. I like the little game that it does, which is the fact that Neroli and Orange Blossom, I find that cannot decide whether it wants to be citrusy or floral. And so it's mostly both, and it's something I really love about Neroli and Orange Blossom. Oh my. Oh no, oh God. So, okay, because she does have another huge neroli fragrance, which is Sex and the Sea Neroli, but I find that the neroli there is extremely different. This one is green. It's green, it's soapy, and it's very much a chypre. Oh God, this is a chypre. This neroli is on the floral side of things, And again, it has this trouble deciding what it needs to be, what it wants to be, what it wants to become. It's both citrusy and floral. And that floral side is, it's very sweet, it's very ample, and it's very, it's huge, it's sticky, it's ambery, and it's very sweet. Of course, I will want to, and the green part of this is just to die for. It's just, I don't know how to place it, this green part. It's green, it's almost pungent green. And my brain keeps searching for the familiar Francesca Bianchi touch, which was, I could pick it up in the opening, but now it's gone. I will want to apply this on the skin. The opening is, it's like they share something, that chypre Mediterranean metallic feel. It's quite similar to Etruscan water. And I'm guessing this is the direction it's headed. However, it's just, there's a depth to it that I cannot grasp. I will want to check the official website, because she has these interesting blurbs that I want to read. And this is also a good way to let the fragrance settle for a bit. Francesca Bianchi perfumes, I guess. Her website is francescabianchiperfumes.com. Libertine Neroli, sophisticated freedom. I wonder if it has a blurb just yet. So these fragrances, for those of you who don't know, these fragrances come as all the bottles are the same size and the same look. They come as 30 milliliter X-rays, which cost 108 euros now, because they've been she had an increase in price, I'm guessing, after the pandemic. And there is that labdanum, which just screams to get out. It's like a roar. This fragrance reminds me of Tiger for some reason. It has that jammy sweetness to it. It's definitely there. It's a floral, jammy something that's very much into the woods, the same woods as Tiger, but also the animalic part of that deep and syrupy, what's it called, labdanum. So let's just see. A chypre structure presents an animalic facet that makes this fragrance seductive and intense, as well as sophisticated and somehow vintage. I didn't get any specific vintage fragrance references in this, which is interesting. And I see that her website gives off a more gives away, not gives off, a more in-depth pyramid of notes. Let's see. The references that inspired this creation are the glorious places of Italian social life of the past years, the carefree atmosphere of the Roman dolce vita. I'm sorry for that pronunciation. The sense of freedom of Weiler's Roman holiday, or the refined yet casual vibe of Minghella's The Talented Mr. Ripley. And these are all references that I guess fall flat for me. I guess they are more personal. I don't know if somebody has any inkling to what they mean in this fragrance. Please let me know. This is the first fragrance devoted entirely to a specific ingredient, which I presume is neroli. This composition is conceived not as a simple rendition of a flower. It is a complex composition only centered on neroli as major ingredients. Okay, because of this, it has great longevity, body, and structure. This is indeed a very heavy fragrance. However, I guess it's one of those fragrances that last forever on the skin, but don't project all that much. I find it similar to Luxe Calme Volupté, which isn't very projective. However, it's very much long-lasting, and it's a very intimate scent that you wear for yourself mostly. Well, even so, they do project quite nicely, but just they're not huge bombs. Okay, and the pyramid for this is Bergamot, Petit Grain, which goes perfectly with neroli. Then there's neroli, geranium, iris. There's something very balsamic with this. Also an animalic accord, which I don't know what it is. A leather, which of course comes from the labdanum. Benzoin and oak moss. So all these resins give off this huge, when they come together, the benzoin and the labdanum, they give off this very sharp, camphorous, sort of incipient thing that sometimes resins have, that all resins have at some point, especially in the beginning. And this kind of made my brain think that it's something very green here, because it's camphorous, it's balsamic, and it's very incisive. It's very, it has a sort of a bite. But this is a chypre dedicated to neroli, but with a very heavy base, with a very, very heavy base. So I will have to see where this goes further, because as it is, this fragrance is much more oriented towards its base than towards its top. The paper, however, is quite different than my skin. The paper shows a more animalic facet of neroli, this human body quality that neroli has. And I'm not saying it's similar, I'm not saying it's in the same vein, not at all. However, the thing I'm referring to, you can smell in a very dear fragrance of mine, which was done by Francis Cookchan, and it was, Les Fleurs du Mal? Fleurs du Mal, not Le Fleur de Mal, just Fleur de Mal, that flanker slash whatever it was. I'm talking about a soapy human body, not at all dirty, but very, very sexy and very interesting. So it's very interesting that what this fragrance does is takes the sweeter parts of neroli, and it turns them into this almost fruity contrast, which is very I guess it's very typical for a chypre thing to do that. Chypre fragrances are all about contrast between the chypre base, which is an oak moss labdanum, oak moss patchouli, oak moss and a resin, something earthy, something resinous, and a very exalted note, very something in the top. So what this does with the neroli is it kind of gets it into this fruity aldehydic zone, and the reference for this, I can't believe it, but the reference for this, it finally hit me, is Knija 10. This smells like Knija 10. This is another leather chypre. This is another leather chypre, and it is gorgeous. It's very typical for Francesca Bianchi to just hit you with these references. It's just great. This is very much akin to that thing that all chypres do, which is contrast this note in a most interesting way. And just the reference, the Knija 10 reference is just amazing. It's great. However, it is in the same, because it's a chypre, it is kind of in the same note as Etruscan water, only much less aromatic, much less Mediterranean, and much more leather, much more animalic, and much more floral. But that's it in terms of references. That's all I can think of. But the fragrance promises quite a lot, so it's something that definitely needs a few wears for me to get my brain around. Because it really has them all. It's got this, now it's giving off this spicy note, which I don't know where it comes from. Then again, it's quite earthy, it is quite leathery. Come say hi. Say hi to the people. And this is for people like me who very much enjoy resins in their fragrance, especially labdanum, definitely. And it's not, so the only thing that's sweet here, at least in this moment, it's this flowery aspect. It's not extremely ambery, so it is resinous, but it's not vanillic, it's not sweet. That benzoin isn't very isn't into that caramel side where usually benzoin is. It's just it feels dry and floral, and I can definitely see myself wearing this in the summer, just like I see myself wearing Etruscan water in the summer and all year round. So there you have it. This was Libertine Neroli, a new fragrance launch from Francesca Bianchi, and I welcome this into my collection. I will have to, of course, get to understand it a bit more, a bit better. And if you have further questions about Libertine Neroli and other fragrances and other Francesca Bianchi fragrances, make sure to hit me up in the comments. And until next time, remember, fragrance creates memories, and may yours be happy.